Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel and I hope you guys are doing well. If you're a new subscriber, kindly hit the notification bell so that anytime that I post any content you'll be able to view. Thank you so much for being here. So on today's video, I wanted to just do a summary of the pros and cons of living in England. And as I'm going to do this video, I will give you generally the pros I am enjoying and the cons that I'm not enjoying based on where I live, and some others I'll give you generally based on the like overall England, that is England together with all the islands and the British Overseas Territory. So without much further ado, let's get into the video. So the first pro that you enjoy when you're living in the UK or in England, mostly like what we're enjoying in Gibraltar. This one I'm going to base it off Gibraltar. We are enjoying like work-life balance. If you watched my previous YouTube video, I will link the video down below in the description box. If you watched the previous video, I said Gibraltar is a small place, but it is very resourceful. So with it being having historical sites, tourism being there, as being so near to Spain and countries like Morocco, you get an, the upper hand to travel and to also enjoy things like the beaches and at a very short span amount of time. Like I said previously, the beaches and the historical sites approximately 20 minutes from the town area where we live. So we really enjoy the fact that even on a normal weekend we can go to the beach, that is during spring and summer, and also we can go to up the rock using the cable car, or we can hire a taxi. And if you love hiking or you're a fitness junkie, you can also decide to climb the rock. Yeah, so and also there are things like the caves that you can visit. There's the Euro point that you can is like 20 minutes 15 to 20 minutes by bus, which I said it's easier when you because you can use public transport. So here the work-life balance is there, and also the work time, like mostly for summer, which is about to start in the next like 2 months. We go to work at 8 and we close offices at 3:30. So from 3:30 you can actually, on a normal weekday, you can go and enjoy yourself. So the work-life balance is there. We're enjoying this one. I'm basing it on where we live. The second thing that you're enjoying the most here in Gibraltar are the taxes. I come from Kenya. I'm a citizen. I'm a Kenyan citizen. So in Kenya, the taxes are at 30%, and if you've paid the payee as a Kenyan worker, you know like how much that dents your payslip. Big pointers that made us move into Gibraltar is the fact that their tax rates are 20%. And even at 20%, you really realize that the government or the taxes are really being utilized to the core by the government. So the fact that you enjoy 20% rate out of your salary does not leave like a big magnitude or dent to your payslip. Though I understand and I know very well that tax in London and in most parts of UK around 40%. And as I said previously, there were things that we were considering because we had gotten offers in Isle of Man and in London. I rather have more money that is left in my pocket and go further than be in the capital city and pay 40%. So those are the things we are looking at. So we really, really, really love the fact, and we are enjoying the fact that we are in a place or in a country where tax is 20%. Yeah, so that's it. The third pro that we're enjoying here is free education, and I do not know why I did not remember to do it in the previous video, but that is why I'm doing this consolidated video of the pros and cons. So also we are enjoying or we will be enjoying the free education as time goes by, because our baby is 3. So right now we are in the daycare system, of which you as a parent have to pay that. But in September, when the academic year starts, because here it's the British system, so it starts in September. Our child will be absorbed, of which we are doing applications by mid of April. So that will be placed in a school that is near where we live. So we will be enjoying the free education policy. Fourth pro that we are enjoying here in Gibraltar is weather. I know people who live in mainland really, really, really winter is so tough for people in mainland. But Gibraltar has such a good weather compared to UK mainland and the actually larger part of Europe, because our winters run from 20th or 21st of December to around mid-May, because by mid-May we were out of winter, and we are not, we are one of the few countries that do not get the snowy winters. Yes, it is cold, but we never get to -4, -5. We actually don't even, since we came here, since we landed here, we have not gotten to 5 degrees. We are around 7, 8. If you live in Kenya, that is Limuru weather, our Yakiwi weather, which is not bad. And since the beginning of spring, which tentatively it starts around April now, this is now when the sun is really out. You get to enjoy 16, 17, 20, and we are told sometimes it can get even to 34, 35, and even 40s. So it is like the, when it is summer here, it is the Mombasa weather. And actually now our winter is like 3.5 months, 3.5 months. Then the rest of the year is spring and summer and fall, which generally all the temperatures are really, really good temperatures. So the other pro I am enjoying most, and the final pro that I enjoy most living here, is how easy it is to travel around Europe. That is mostly because there are trains all over Europe, so it is very easy to catch trains, and also actually around you, it is easier to move even, or to use flights, uh, and cheaper from a country in Europe to another, compared to like the way flying is expensive around Africa. For example, from Gibraltar to go to a place like France, for a person is around £110. That's approximately around um, 15, 17,000 Kenya shillings. And sometimes you get or you find out that trains are cheaper, but the problem with trains is the waiting time for everyone to board is longer, compared to now on flights. So at some point, people prefer flights, but there are also people who also love trains. But there are options. The good thing is there are options, and it is very cheap. Like from Gibraltar to London, we are 2.5, 2 hours 15 minutes, 2 hours 30 minutes, depending on the weather. From Gibraltar to London, we have flights from Gibraltar to London, and from Gibraltar to Gatwick. So you can actually go to Gatwick, to Manchester, to London, and the flights are very, let me use the word cheap, because like in Kenya there are exorbitant prices, from even just Nairobi to Mombasa, or from Nairobi to maybe like a place like Rwanda, you pay more than 40 or 70,000. So the number one con of living anywhere in the UK, this one I'll not even say in Gibraltar, in UK, or just when you've moved abroad, is housing. Housing is, it is it is a very hard dynamic or topic to talk about when you're moving abroad. Like in Kenya, I know the way we say, like around paying £150, £200 for a two-bedroom is a lot. That is around Kenya shillings, 20K, 30K for a two-bedroom house. They're not like a lot of people who can afford that in Kenya. Let me tell you, in Gibraltar is, I will, according to what I know and the info that I have, we have friends in Bermuda. Housing in Bermuda is very, very expensive. We have friends in Isle of Man, we have friends in Channel Islands. Channel Islands and Isle of Man, The prices are not that bad. They range the same prices around with London. That's around for a studio apartment, what mostly in Kenya people called a bedsitter. Though here studio apartments are really some are bigger than the bedsitters that we are used to in Kenya, or they are a bit well equipped because most of the houses will come with inbuilt coffee makers, ovens, microwave, um, an electric cooker or a gas cooker. In some apartments, you'll find fitted fridges and electronics. But in London, you'll get anywhere between, depending on where you're living in London, I'm made to understand, and either north, south, London, it's around 400 to 1,000. But most people do not want to go to the extreme of 1,000. They want to be around 400, 500. And in most cases, if people find housing expensive, because most of the house house agents here, like you have to sign a lease contract of 1 year. Then when your contract expires, you can renew or look for another house before your contract expires. Then you move out. So in most cases, you find that houses, people in London, also people also in Gibraltar, I think it's the bigger part of the UK, they prefer, rather than them taking a studio apartment and them having to live alone, which is very expensive, they prefer taking like a one bedroom, which is around 1,000 or 1,200 pounds. Then they could share two people, or they take a two-bedroom, then they could share three people. That way, the cost of sharing per person goes lower. Now, Gibraltar, you cannot get a studio apartment below £1,000. Here in London, people are getting 600, 400, 500 pounds. In Gibraltar, the least you can get for a studio apartment is 1,000. Cut it, kaput. A one bedroom here is around 1,300 to 1,600. A two bedroom here is between 1,500 to 2,300. Sometimes I think last week I got along. I saw an advertising on one of the Facebook groups where someone was advertising a two bedroom, two bath for £3,500 per month. Leave alone now, me being in Akakun, where I'm like, why would I pay a studio apartment, a bed sitter, for 150,000? Actually, now the rate of the pound is, as of yesterday, it was 163. So that's 163,000. Hmm? And then Kenya, unalipishwa hata hiyo bed sitter 5,000, and you're like, you're out of your mind. Yes, but that is the reality. Housing is very expensive. The number two con of living around these places is food. And I'm saying this coming from an African family setting. The I wish, if there's something that I took to heart, is the person who advised me when I was coming here lives in London. So, like I said previously, the London weather is not that good. So they advised me to carry uh, like a good amount of clothes. And also I really think like I overly estimated like winter. Like for me, I carried a lot of heavy warm clothes, so my luggage like had a lot of clothes, and I carried very, very kidogo food stuff. The only food stuff I carried are spices and ugali. I carried 4 kgs, and if there's something that I am really struggling right now, is getting ugali. We go to an extent of getting. There's an app that we use that exports or brings us ugali for us from Dubai. That is a story for another day. Because here in Gibraltar, unlike because London has more Africans compared to Gibraltar. London has African shops, like there's a shop called Wosi Wosi, and because also of the influence of Nigerians and Ghanaians there, because there are way too many, you get a lot of, or a good number of, African shops. In Gibraltar, whereas we are not many of us, so there is no one who really can tap in that market, because we rarely, like, it is very easy for you to even go for 2 or 3 days without even seeing a fellow black person. So for us living here, it is either when you have someone who is coming from London, you can send them something to get for you there. If you do not know anyone, and maybe you do not also have a family member who is coming, you have to look for these things on all the sites that you can get, and for them to bring it for you. because now here people are used to corn flour, which is very refined and it is so gummy. It is not something like you'd eat or consume a lot of times. We also struggle with the fact that the food here is definitely not what we are used to, because English people are people who love fish and chips. So most of the time it is fish and chips. If you go to restaurants, other than steak that you'll get and vegan, vegetarian foods, it's just fish and chips and burgers. Yeah, so there's that African food that you always miss. Like here, there is no green banana, so you cannot make matokes. So and rice is a lot. Gibraltar has fair share of Indians. So if maybe sometimes you're craving at least some biryani, you can check in an Indian restaurant and get some samosa, biryani, kebabs. But that's about it. So the most common food here is their food, not our food, and also the shops here are not like African shops like they are in London. Also, it is good for me to mention that most of the food here is frozen, and that is also in all the other parts of UK, because they like from where they get the food, I think in the countryside, for you to get to these other places, the food has to be frozen. And also it is good to note that most of the food in Gibraltar, the reason why it is very very expensive, because food in Gibraltar, after rent in Gibraltar, fear food, it is rent then food. Those are the most expensive commodities in Gibraltar. And the reason why most of the food in Gibraltar is very expensive is because the government gets our food from mainland, and it has to come by plane. That you can now understand when the flight costs are factored in. The food cost will go relatively high. Also, there are no big butchers here. We just have one farmers market where like it has three butcheries. That is where maybe you, if you do not want to buy meat from the supermarket, you can go at the butchers and get your meat. And it is just the normal meat, just that there is no bone meat here, unless it is a ribeye steak. There is no, like the way you see in back home, you see the way unasamanga staki nyama iko na mifupa. When you come here, you'll miss that nyama iko na mifupa, because most of the meat here is steak. Chicken is very cheap here. Well, it is not cheap, but it is fairer compared to beef. So that is one thing we came to realize, that at the end of the day, we'll have to spend a good amount of money on food. And yeah, we are adjusting. There's nothing you can do about these things sometimes. So the last con and the last pointer will be this party life here, the social life. As much as there are places to visit and you can go out and enjoy time, sometimes these places can be very lonely. Maybe most of the time, if you moved alone. For us, it is not that complicated because we are a family of three, so we keep each other company, and we have each other to talk to in Swahili if we want. Not every time that you really want to talk English each and every other day. You actually want to talk in your native language. So the social life, if you move to these places alone, or if you're alone for a very long time, can be very very boring and depressing. The party life here, like I said, there's none. Most of actually people in Gibraltar, they go to Spain to have fun, because we are neighbors to the northern part of Spain. So we people go to Spain to have fun during the night and come later in the night, because there are like actually no clubs as per se, because most of the clubs are closed by 12. And this is the time that you really come to love the fact that even you being in your own country and being able to chill out with your family and friends, it is a really 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 big deal. But I believe, like, at some point you have to make sacrifices. And again, the more you stay in a place, or the longer time you stay in a place, you start making new friends. Yes, so the social life is not that good, but if you have a partner and you're living with a partner, it at least lessens the burden of you being alone and having to put on earphones and listening to music even when you're out. And I think even sometimes you really miss the fact that you are in a club, or you're having you're grabbing one or two drinks and then go home, and we miss the fact that there's no African music, and we just come at home sometimes. And actually, for us, we prefer even getting our drinks and coming home, putting on maybe some nice African mix, and just chill at home, because I know I'll not get it even when I go out. Even if I go to Spain, I'll not get it. So Spanish people have some nice songs, very danceable songs. Yes, but anyway, that's about it. So that is it for today, you guys. Thank you so much for staying till the end. Remember to subscribe, hit the notification bell, leave a comment, tell me what kind of content you like to see me creating. And yes, that's it. And until next time, you guys, have a nice time. Bye.